Welcome back to Hypixel Skyblock Ironman mode. We'll start off with a few forged claims of refined diamonds, eventually transitioning to forging the first few of 10 golden plates, and then almost the remaining amount I needed. Now for some actual content. Diana was mayor again, and that means the mythological ritual was active, giving me the opportunity to get my griffin pet upgraded to rare. First I need the base griffin upgrade stone, which I can then use alongside 16 griffin feathers and 4 enchanted gold blocks to get the rare upgrade stone. Griffin burrows provide a shot at getting these feathers, although most of the time you'll spawn mythological mobs such as these. They're the ones that drop ancient claws, and also pet items. More on that soon. There's number 1. These guys go for 250,000 at the bazaar, but yeah, that doesn't really matter. And this is what I was referring to. Each mythological mob carries a small chance to drop a pet item. In this case I got the nymphs, which grants sea creature chance. I promptly applied it to my ammonite pet, which will definitely be handy for worm fishing. I wouldn't go so far as to call the event fun. Going across the map repeatedly is kind of a pain in the ass, but it's something fresh that isn't the hellishly monotonous mining which is soon to come. A Minos Hunter dropped a Hilt of Revelations, used to craft the Sword of Revelations, one of few weapons in the game to grant enemy-specific magic find. It's not the priority right now though. Upon hitting 24 griffin feathers, I crafted the base stone, then the rare stone, and used it in cat to get my rare griffin pet. If you don't have much experience with the mythological ritual, increasing the rarity of the griffin allows you to fight new enemies with new loot and also increases their power. I didn't want to buy a cat flower just for 1 hour, so to burn that time, I mined diamonds to buy a booster cookie, during which I managed to reach mining level 54 and skyblock level 127. 13.3 million coins for a booster cookie. Yeah, no, that's cool. I claimed my golden plates, set up the very last one I needed, and then began forging 6 mithril plates. We're getting real close to the drill. This tier up also unlocks a perk that grants a % boost to my strength at high health. I got right back to the mythological ritual, this time aiming for the Beastmaster crest, a talisman that boosts pet XP and scales with your number of mythological kills. It only requires 4 griffin feathers for its starting edition, so I opted to gather enough to craft it, upgrade it to uncommon, and also make the Sword of Revelations, because it's cheap as hell too. I immediately decked out the sword as much as I could, including by farming potatoes to apply hot potato books to it. Don't get it twisted though, it does like 1/3 of the damage that my pooch sword does. It's solely for the finishing hit so I can get the +5 magic find. That was all my crafting goals for this mythological ritual, but there was still so much time left I couldn't let it go to waste. Remember how I talked about how each mob can drop a pet item? I wanted one. Badly. I mean, they're insane. One can give plus 80% pet strength, another can give plus 35 bonus attack speed. The possibilities are endless. I ended up getting the one that gives plus 5 pet luck, and it took me a million bajillion trillion years. At the very least, I did end up with 40-something griffin feathers, so I scrolled through its recipes for a bit and found the challenger equipment, which have double stats during the ritual, give damage resistance against mythological mobs, and have base stats that actually exceed my ender equipment, so that's an easy upgrade. I set up my last 4 mithril plates, so in 12.5 hours, I'll finally have every finished material. To not waste my remaining 3 forge slots, I grinded 9 Glacite jewels to forge 3 bejeweled handles that I used with 2 flawless topaz to forge, you guessed it, the topaz rod, an introductory lava rod. The next day, I got my mithril plates, and dear god, finally we can forge the X555. It's been a long time coming. This also unlocks a jade gemstone slot, allowing me to throw on a flawless jade for another 20 mining fortune. Now that my fortune is so much higher, I decided to move on from the Stellar Reforge by setting up a Dwarven Geode, a unique reforge stone that provides a % boost to mining fortune. Here we go, the Glacite tunnels. There's a lot to explore, but here's the summary. There's 3 new Dwarven metals, 4 new gemstones, and mine shafts that have a random chance to spawn from breaking these blocks. They contain frozen corpses, which can give you gemstones, eggs, keys, and metals, among other things. Plus, there's new commissions that give double the Heart of the Mountain XP of those in the Dwarven Mines or Crystal Hollows. It's a lot, and I know that doesn't elaborate on much, so we'll run through them one at a time. We'll start with Glacite, the ore with the highest block strength in the game, and therefore is the slowest to mine. I gathered Glacite till I reached collection level 4, unlocking the recipe for the Glacite Golem. This pet is essentially the Glacite Tunnels' version of the Mithril Golem, and it's fantastic for mining inside of Glacite mineshafts, providing extra cold resistance, mining speed, and Glacite powder. I then switched to mining Umber, during which I spawned a mineshaft that contained a Lapis Corpse. This is the only one of the 4 different corpse types that doesn't require a key, and it gave me a fine Peridot, Glacite Jewel, and a couple red goblin eggs. Pretty good. The second Lapis Corpse was equally as good. Upon hitting collection level 4 and mining up just a bit more Umber, over 192 enchanted Umber to be precise, I forged an Umber key. I want to test it out, but in the time until another mineshaft spawns, I mined Tungsten. It's used for Tungsten keys to unlock Tungsten corpses, except these corpses are actually identical to the Umber corpses, they're just visually different. Alright, let's see what you got. This kind of sucks ass. Yeah, the corpses are actually terrible like 80% of the time. I could have gotten all of this loot in far less time than it took me to mine the Umber for the key. 4 Glacite commissions with the daily bonus give 7,260 Heart of the Mountain XP, which is kind of nuts. As bad as the Umber corpses are, they're a necessary evil, so I mined Umber. A lot of Umber. For a long time. Like, at least 3 or 4 seconds of mining. Alright, more like almost 2 hours because its ore is slow. Honestly, the Lapis corpses are objectively more reliable. I mean, red goblin eggs, enchanted tungsten, and a suspicious scrap, all things I need and would take some time to get on their own. I reached Frozen Corpse Milestone Tier 1, mostly useless outside of the Organ Donor Talisman. I love me some magical power. Wasn't that quick and easy? I didn't have to cut out 7 straight clips of Umber mining. What are you talking about? Now I just needed to spawn a few mineshafts. I opted to mine Glacite since it's the only ore here that actually drops Glacite powder. Number 1. This is far worse than the last one. Come on, they can't be all bad. Number 2? That's, yeah, not too shabby. I mean, it's only gemstones, but it at least gave a good amount. Plus I hit Skyblock level 130. Also, while searching for Umber corpses, I got 4 bejeweled handles from a Lapis corpse. That's a 0.67% chance. Number 3, and that's more like it. 8 suspicious scrap. We'll run through all of the scrap after I finish the 5. This Lapis corpse gave me a refined Umber. Why the hell have these drops been better than the Umber corpses? Number 4 wasn't horrible, 4 more suspicious scrap, but number 5 was worthless. I suppose my godly luck couldn't last forever. Over all these corpses, I gathered 21 suspicious scrap, and we can use them in a fossil excavator. They can give gemstones and ores, but what we're really after is fossils. They can unlock new pets and be donated for Heart of the Mountain XP. It's only a 10% chance per scrap, so I wasn't expecting much, but I ended up getting a webbed fossil, tusk fossil, clubbed fossil, and a spine fossil. Each of these were donated for 5,000 Heart of the Mountain XP apiece, although unfortunately I didn't get the fossil that unlocks the goblin pet. Now for our final task, Heart of the Mountain Tier 9. Even with how powerful these Glacite Tunnels commissions are, I still need to complete almost 300 of them. These commissions include Umber mining, tungsten mining, various gemstone mining, and mineshaft related commissions like looting corpses. It took a while, yeah. In fact, the bulk of my time on this video was spent doing this because, well, they're boring. I highly recommend you get them out of the way as soon as possible. However, I did reach mining 55 from all the extra mining XP. Each commission gives a little over 20,000 XP, and I got some interesting drops along the way, like this Umber key from a Lapis corpse. This time, the Umber corpse wasn't too bad, giving me 4 suspicious scrap. Quick break because Ringo was in town, and I wanted to pick up the blue whale pet. It's not all that helpful now, but at Legendary, it grants a straight up 20% boost to your mat's health. Alright, intermission over. Commission mining brought me up to mining 56, which only brought me memories of Super Bowl 56, where my blessed Cincinnati Bengals lost. Here we are, the final commission. Come a long way, huh? It seemed like just 9 minutes and 18 seconds ago that we started today's journey. Heart of the Mountain Tier 9 achieved, just 1 more to go. With the 2 tokens of the mountain, I purchased Rags to Riches, which grants mining fortune inside of mineshafts, and No Stone Unturned, which increases the chance of suspicious scrap dropping from broken blocks. I then dumped the 1 million Glacite powder I'd accumulated into these 2 perks and my cold resistance buff, along with another core of the mountain level. Safe to say my Glacite Golem got a lot of XP from all this, so I threw it into Cat to upgrade it to Uncommon. And finally, I applied the Dwarven Geode to my titanium drill, making it now grant plus 0.7% mining fortune. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time for lava fishing, mangrove foraging, and upgrades to my hunting equipment.